Hello, hello, hello. How we doing?
I think we are doing amazing. I need to put that down.
What do you have? Your pencil again?
I did, yes.
We are not going to tell the three people that will watch this anything about your pencil. So, um, only that you'll have to probably make a purchase on Amazon sometime soon.
I just play with the piggy pig.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Um, so, it took me a second to think about what our topic was going to be today, but um, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday about the adventure they're starting, and I'm not going to give that example because they're not on here to uh, jokingly. They're not on here to defend themselves, so it's not fair to talk about that. But you are on here to defend yourself. So we're going to talk a little bit about the conversation we had this morning about you wanting to create an application, and you wanted somebody to help you write that code and to build that, and you wanted it tomorrow, right? So our topic today is dreaming versus strategizing. Okay, because a lot of entrepreneurs, um including myself at times, right, we think of, we're going to save the world, we're going to change the world, we're going to do something bigger, better, stronger than anybody else has done. And I want that to happen, and it can happen. And it starts with a dream. But what do we have to do after that dream?
Build an OKR.
I'll go with that. I'll go with that. That's a start, right? But part of it is you have to bring that dream into OKRs or bring it into reality,
No.
right? What does it actually take to save the world? Right? What is it
Thanos.
Thanos? Sure, I'll go with that. Um, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. But you get my point, right? Like, both of us are building something, right? Right now, you're building a platform. You want to build an app that helps you run that platform better, which is what we kind of talked about. I'm building a consulting company, and I'm building an app that'll help me do that consulting better. But while it started with a dream, right, we can't live in that dream. And it's not even just about us. I'm talking about this because you and I encounter a lot of entrepreneurs in our day-to-day existence. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yes.
I mean, your platform, that's all it's about, right? Eventually we're going to have people that aren't entrepreneurs, but that's kind of what you're attracting right now, right? Like, because of what you're offering, and that's great. Um, and so we have a lot of people with a lot of dreams. And one of the things that I help people with on my side, and you help people with the platform, is putting those dreams into reality, right? How long ago did your dream start with BizStorming? When did you name it? Let's start there. When did you name BizStorming?
I was going to say naming
Because
BizStorming was
right,
probably a decade after the actual idea or concept,
yeah,
like, before what is it, the twinkle in your eye?
right, yeah. Like, you and I both, same with me, right? I've been doing consulting. You've been doing stuff for BizStorming long before you named it, right?
Yeah.
Long before somebody even thought about paying you for it, or they were paying you for it in the job that you were doing. And you're like, how am I, getting paid minimum wage and doing the manager job? Because you get my point. Like, we've all, I shouldn't say we have all, not all of us watching this have done that, but you and I have definitely been in those situations.
Yeah.
So when did you
Three.
name BizStorming?
We're coming on to almost 3 years. So I
Three
believe it
years.
was October, when I did the cohort, the success cohort with Davika. I think it was October-ish. I'm horrible with dates. We all know
Sure.
it. We
But
don't even
about
know when
3
my kid
years.
was born.
Yeah.
So we're going on almost 2.5, almost 3 years, yeah.
Okay. So when that first happened, right? I'm using yours as an example simply because other people watching this, I want them to understand. So you named your dream 3 years ago, right?
Yep.
And the normal entrepreneur concept, building a new company, takes 3 to 5 years, right? When in that 3 years did you get the first person to pay you?
I was very fortunate, and my business came out of a group.
Okay.
So
So
I
you were
was
lucky.
very right, I was very lucky. It came out of a group of entrepreneurs and business owners who needed support. And because I had already been doing that for several of the ones in the group, there were new ones in the group that had then started to pay me. So I was lucky in that aspect. And then I had friends who continued to pay me because now it's a business and what I've been providing to them for years as advice that was not taken was now
Okay.
paid advice that was either taken or not taken.
Well, that's we can't help if people don't take our advice.
Yeah.
So let me ask a different question then. So you built the platform that you want people to come on. By the way, it's $57 a month if anybody's watching this. Um, so the platform you created, when was the first time you got a paid person on the platform?
The first
Give
time
or
that I
take.
got a yeah, probably a month and a half ago, and the
Okay.
platform has been but we've built the community that the platform is created for.
Hmm.
I've spent 2 years networking and nourishing that aspect, and because the community was there at the beginning, they all have a free year.
Sure.
Um, so there is that aspect. Do I have people on the platform that probably would have paid had I not been a typical myself and said, "Hey guys, I built a platform and you have to pay for it." I do. Um,
But you
but
did it the right way in a sense, though, because word of mouth is better than any marketing you can do, in my opinion, for certain things, right? You have to sell yourself. When you're an entrepreneur, you're selling yourself more than you're selling your business. And when you have something like what you're selling and what I'm selling, I mean, you guys can go look at both of our sites. Um, Somebody who loves our service and tells 10 other people is better marketing than spending 500 bucks a month on Facebook.
yep, exactly.
And so the whole concept of this is dreaming is wonderful, right? Dreaming is wonderful, but if you don't have a plan and you don't put the work in, it's never going to happen, right?
Yep.
And you are the prime example of that, right? If you would have just been like, Psh, this is a cool logo, and like I'm just going to sit here and wait, right? um, your platform, number one, would have never been created. Maybe you would have still been getting trickling clients, right?
Yep.
But it wouldn't be what it is today. Would you agree with that?
Most definitely. And here's the thing, everybody thinks that your business is what your business is. And if we look at McDonald's, McDonald's has changed some of their menu. McDonald's has definitely changed the golden arches, right? It's
Well,
still
and
the
here
golden arches.
somewhere here in Illinois, they have a whole new like mix something. You guys can look it up. Like a whole new store that sells crap that isn't even at regular McDonald's. Go ahead.
So they're trying to take over Walmart. I'm down for that. But point being, my business started with me building people's websites and doing some smaller VA things and doing some stuff. And then the accountability was like, oh, because my thought was, oh, you'll be my accountability person, my client, but you're going to need all these things to get done. And because you don't have the time to do them, I'm going to do them for you. So you
Sure.
basically tell me your checklist and then I'm going to do it. I don't want to.
In the end, though,
I
that's not what you want your function to be. Exactly.
Right. And I was sitting there and I was doing this for everybody and I loved it and I enjoyed it. However, what I realized was I'm your accountability coach. And I am going to help you understand that these are the things that need to be done, or how can we align? Like people say need, and I try to not say need, but how can we align what you want to do in your business with promoting your business and getting it moving forward? I
Right.
don't have to do those steps. That's You're the business owner, not me. I'm the person helping you figure them out, and
Sure.
then we can connect you to people who can do them. So we, on the platform, created an
Right.
area where people can connect and know and like each other, because I don't want to.
No, and
I
you shouldn't
fiddle
have
too
to.
much with my own.
Right. And like so for me, I build leaders into who they are supposed to be, right? I build people into that leader that they're supposed to be. But I can't walk into your company and sit at your desk and tell you exactly what to say every time somebody walks into your office. I can't send the emails for you. I can only guide you into how to interact and how to be a leader. You have to do the things yourself, right? So if you're not willing to do the work, you're never going to grow. But the same thing with you, you can guide people on how to run their business better, become a better entrepreneur, um, set up that new thing that they are wanting to use, the new tool, whatever. But you shouldn't have to, and you shouldn't do it, sit there and actually do the clicks,
Yeah.
right?
And I think you
So,
and I are good at this, Sarah, where when people come into to our space, and I call it our space because let's be honest, you're half of everything I do most of the time anyways. But when people come into a room with us, we really ask them to evaluate that.
yeah,
We ask them to look at their worth, and we ask them to look at what they are doing, and we do it to each other.
yes,
Um, we hold each other in that space, but what I like about it is it's a mindset. We shift mindsets. Prime example, I sent an email, probably shouldn't have sent the email. It talked about when I work with people and I have people above me, I expect that people work as if they own the company because I'm a business
sure.
owner. And
Hmm.
so if I have a manager, I have somebody above me. But even before I was a business owner, I had that mindset. If you work somewhere, honor it, right?
Agreed.
And so when you're training leaders, I need you in that space, right? I need you to go. Could you take care of this for me?
Sure.
But when you're training somebody, it is the mindset of, are you just showing up to work?
Hmm.
Or are you providing value to people that inspires you? And that is what you and I do. We teach people how to shift from I dread this to then how does it align? How
Hmm.
can you write an email to somebody who you possibly don't like in a management position in a way to where I'm your manager. This is,
In a
steps without the
professional way.
emotions.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I love that about us. We really help with that mindset. And I think that's a big part of where do you go with your business. Like I said, I started in the wrong mindset. I'm going to do everything.
Sure.
But my business has shifted. McDonald's has shifted their logos. My logo's never changing. And if anybody comes at it, I will take you out. But
But you adapted to the color schemes. So everybody has to adapt a little bit, right? Like you took the feedback when a few people were like, you have a few too many colors, right? Let's scale this back a little bit. Um, but that's a whole different realm. It's about thinking doing one thing well and then adding another thing, doing another thing well, adding another. We all know those people who are trying to do 22 things at once. And you're laughing. I'm not even joking about you not being able to. I'm talking business wise. I'm not talking the person that has to fidget. Okay, because that's why you're laughing, because you can't
No,
sit
I'm
and do one
laughing
thing at
because we
once.
know I have so many services and I have to try
Oh,
to
sure.
articulate. It does. It plays into I have a big business, but I have to articulate one point and only
But
one point.
but I am going to clarify, because one of the things that I think you missed on that conversation is I don't think you have to cut services. I
Right.
think in your explanation you need to consolidate.
Right.
Right? Because you're like, well, I have this accountability and this accountability and this, and you do. Like, you have a lot of options for accountability, right? If somebody wants accountability for how to feed their dog, we would set up a plan for that. Okay.
That's how
But
my client did their schedule.
how to do their dog?
So
What?
before we went through 6 calendars, could not get it aligned, and finally it was my client brushing their dog's teeth, putting that on the calendar, started their workday.
Oh, wonderful. See, I was making jokes. Um, but but in a sense, what your explanation needs to be consolidated.
Yeah,
So, what that's a whole different concept, right? And I
right.
know, but what I'm saying is like, I want to start a shoe company and I want to start a rock painting company and I want to start a construction company, and you try to do them all at the same time. Like, you can't, right? Like, that is legitimately not possible for anybody's mental stability to handle as a single entrepreneur. Now, if you're independently wealthy, and you want to start 5 businesses at once and you can hire the people to do that, then you don't need any of us. So we ask you to come support our companies. We'll take financial support. We'll make you an investor. Um, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway,
If we had a investor, Sarah, we'd be so much farther. I'd have an app.
we would. You'd have an app. You would have an app. I would have an app. We would have all the apps. But I think the end result is I love people that dream, and I want everybody to reach out to us with those dreams. But be ready to build that strategy, be ready to do the work. And no matter what Disney tells you, dreams don't happen overnight.
Yeah.
So,
And
and
really
princesses
glad you're
and
there.
princes don't knock on doors either. So, you got to do the opposite.
I'm making one knock on my door.
Hey, if you find a prince to knock on your door, or a princess, I don't care, then you got to let me know. It's the same
Yep.
way if Jeanette ever gets The Rock to respond, I'm helping her make clocks. So,
We'll all help her make clocks.
yep. All right, we
Ooh,
are at 18 minutes. What?
I wanna do a world's largest clock for Jeanette. One of those absurd things that they do to get in the Guinness World Book of Records.
I don't
We
know
should
how
help
she would.
Jeanette do that.
I don't know what the biggest clock would be. It'd be pretty big, and I don't know how. We'd have to figure a way to like hook it all together, because right now she has small. But we could talk to her about that,
I'm down. We're gonna figure this out.
and she's not
Anyways,
watching, so we
right? She's
can't
not
even think.
watching today. She's in a very important meeting. Everybody keep an eye out. Jeanette is gonna start doing lives and she's on a radio show, so she's doing things.
Ooh,
Over there are our QR codes. Other side for
oh,
you that way. Yeah.
on my
QR
screen it's
codes.
on that side, but
I don't know. QR codes. Get them and
it
it
doesn't work.
doesn't bubble on this.
I
Get your
tried.
QR code, meet with us. We are as fun in person as we are here,
Sometimes more. Um,
sometimes more. But
so,
book with us, get some time, really understand that we're here to help you support your business and be
mhm,
inside of what your business is supposed to be. And we will help you elevate yourself. We help people raise
100%.
their prices. We help people look at what do you really want to do. Why? Because we were there.
We are, yeah. And we
So,
have a lot of people that help us do that. So reach
yes.
out.
All right, everybody. Thank you all. We will see you later. Have a great day.